Much later, after this universe had fallen to the vampire plague, we see a team of survivors navigating their way through the ruins of Gotham City. It is here that they come across their secretive contact in an alley, where they are asked if he could be trusted, only for the mysterious man to tell them that if they couldn't, they would be dead already. Realizing that this logic made perfect sense, the people ask the man just how exactly they would be able to escape, where we see him reveal his identity, J'onn J'onzz, the Martian Manhunter. Before he could get the people to safety, J'onn realized they were not alone, as he heard a familiar voice from behind him, the voice of his former friend, the now vampiric son of Batman, Damian Wayne, who is on the hunt to collect the remaining heroes who oppose this new undead regime. With J'onn telling the boy to stand down, Robin, without hesitation, ignored the warning and tossed a match at the alien, lighting the entire alley in flame as he lunged at his prize with blood-fueled eyes. Later on, we see Robin arrive at the former Wayne Tower, which is now headquarters for the Vampire Coalition. Giving a warm greeting to the vampiric Black Mask, Damian showed the man his bounty, which were the remains of the outlawed Martian Manhunter. Demanding to see the Vampire King due to his noble victory, Robin was shut down by the crime lord, telling him that their ruler was not seeing any visitors at this time, and told the kid to run along before he gave him a spanking. Being the cool, edgy boy he was, Damian proceeded to sharpen his vampire fangs with a knife, while threatening to remind Black Mask why he was their most feared hunter in the league. Before the pair could engage, they were greeted by one of the highest-ranking vampire members, this world's Mr. Terrific. Bowing in honor of their lord, Terrific told Damian to rise, for their king saw him as a brother. And for those just turning into the series, this king was revealed as Dick Grayson's Nightwing, who had killed this world's Batman, turned the majority of the Justice League into vampires, and drove this world into darkness. Despite being his supposed brother, Damian promptly responded that if this were the case, just why was he not allowed to see him? The former hero then told the young Robin that he knew the rules. If one were to visit the king, he would have to capture one of their greatest enemies alive, where we then see a computer displaying the remaining living heroes, consisting of several members of the Bat family, a mission the child gladly took on. We are then taken to one of the Resistance bunkers, where we see not all was as it seemed, as we witness Alfred tending to the wounds of a still very alive Martian Manhunter. The men are then greeted by Damian, where we then see that the whole scene before was an act by the son of Batman, who was using his new role as a vampire to work through their monster ranks to take them out from the inside. Being famished from his long night of deception, Damian asked Alfred for a snack, where he then prepared him a nice bag of pig's blood, which he sipped on like it was a big red Capri Sun. That's gotta be the most simultaneously disturbing and cute thing I've seen all day. With Alfred asking how the hunt for Nightwing was proceeding, Damian informed the man of the requirements to bring one of the heroes in alive, where he told him that he had a plan, where Alfred knew this was going and was quite hesitant to follow through. Later on, we see Robin return to Vampire HQ dragging a duffel bag, where he is then greeted by the wisecracking Black Mask once again. Showing his greatest trophy yet, Damian opened the bag, revealing a captive Alfred, pleading to be let go. Seeing that this was a find worthy of an audience with the king, Robin was escorted to the top floor of the building, where we see the undead ruler Nightwing looking over the city. Greeting his brother, Dick told him that it had been quite some time since they last saw each other, where Damian, rightfully cutting him off, saying that this was all his fault. Skipping the small talk, Nightwing was pleased at the young man's latest find, where he greeted his former butler and friend, where he told him that despite being a vampire, this reunion made him nostalgic for old times, namely a specific time where Bruce Wayne had taken them to Midway City, where Alfred had brought them a special dessert. Claiming that he did not remember such an event, Grayson told the man that he passed the test, where we then see this was not Alfred at all, but rather the shape-shifting Martian Manhunter once again, where he and Robin had planned to finally end this once and for all. Being attacked by the likes of a vampire Gorilla Grodd, Wonder Girl, and Victor Zsasz, Robin left them to Jean, where he went to end his brother's life. Telling the boy that fighting was futile, Dick asked him just what all this was for, and even if he were to kill him, just what would he do? As we witness Manhunter fry off Zaz's head, Dick tells him that even though they could not infect the Martian quite yet, they would soon figure out the key, all to isolate Damian even further from victory. As we see Jean tumble to the streets below with the other monsters, we see Damian pull out his secret weapon, where he slices his leg open, revealing a hidden stake underneath. Inserting the weapon into one of his knife handles, Robin then lunged at his brother to pierce his heart and finally end this madness. Despite undeath, Grayson would still be as adept as ever in his fighting skills and then countered the attack, leading to a brutal battle aboard the skyscraper. He would then show that his mind was as sharp as his body, for during this encounter, his troops had found Damian's resistance, where he held them all captive. Revealing that he had been watching them for months, Nightwing gave the boy two choices. They could either continue this fight while Robin's friends die, or he could try and be a hero and save them. Being true to his father's name, the young Wayne rushed out of the building with Dick taunting him, saying that his compassion was his greatest weakness. Making his way downstairs, we are then taken to an awesome sequence where Damian comes across a hallway full of vampire troops, where he wastes no time and instantly plunges his stake through all of their hearts, turning them into countless piles of smoking ash. Making his way to the lobby, Robin continued his brutal path of vengeance, even ending the life of Black Mask as payback for all the names he had called him in the past. Leaving a trail of bodies behind him, Robin finally made his way to where Alfred was being held, only to see that all the other Resistance fighters had been killed by the powerful undead version of Beatrice DaCosta. Telling his friend to get down, Robin leapt immediately into harm's way, as the woman fried the boy with a powerful stream of flames. Despite the flesh peeling off his body, Damian managed to get close enough to drive the stake through the woman's heart, where she then exploded, causing searing waves of heat to gravely injure the child, sending him hurtling to the ground. As Robin's charred body lied in pain, Alfred made his way to him, where he discovered that the exposure to DaCosta's ultraviolet light was quickly killing the last of his family. Knowing that this called for desperate measures, Pennyworth then had Robin use his remaining strength to feed on him temporarily so he could heal. Looking over the unconscious hero, Alfred was then met by none other than Nightwing. Telling the man to respectfully go to hell, we then see a shred of humanity left in Grayson, who apologized for everything that had happened between them and had Alfred promise that he would take care of Damian. Asking just what kind of game this was, Nightwing told him that this was no trick. He wished for Damian to live, for despite being a vampire, he still held his humanity and compassion, something that could be the key in perhaps reversing this virus someday. Saying their final goodbyes, Pennyworth scooped up the boy's wounded body and walked off into the night.